The state and defense have wrapped up their case in the Tshegofatso Pule Murder Trial. The defense's final witness, who cannot be named and is referred to as Witness X, has corroborated some of the evidence given by self-confessed hitman turned state witness Muzikayise Malepane. Slindelo Masikane is in court for us. She joins us now live. So Slee, what do we know about Witness X and the significance of the evidence we're hearing today?
Well, Shahan, you'd understand from the ruling that we got today from the court before Witness X took to the stand that there's not a lot of detail I can give you in terms of who this particular person is. But their testimony is quite significant to the case because of their connection to convicted killer Muzikayise Malepane. And one would have expected, Shahan, that this particular witness, because they've been brought by the defense, was going to corroborate Shoba's version of events in terms of what transpired on the days leading up to the murder of Tshegofatso Pule. But this witness did the complete opposite, I must say. This particular witness did go into detail around how they know Muzikayise Malepane, what they know about how he makes a living, and of course the events that transpired on the day of Tshegofatso Pule's murder in terms of where Malepane was, who he was hanging out with, as well as the car that he used. And so one of the versions, one of the things really that she said that she corroborated in terms of Malepane's version was the fact that Shoba has told the courts that he knew Malepane because he would be buying cigarettes from Malepane during the hard lockdown. You remember that cigarettes as well as alcohol were banned, and Shoba says that his connection to Malepane was the fact that he was his connection to be able to get cigarettes during the hard lockdown. But this witness says that they would know if Malepane was selling anything during the hard lockdown, and in fact Malepane was selling nothing of the sort, saying that they would know for a fact if they were. But let's just take a listen to some of that testimony earlier this afternoon.
Yes, you say that you never saw Mr. Malepane selling cigarettes or alcohol from your home.
Yes.
Is there any way that he could have done so without you noticing?
I would think maybe he knew someone who was selling. Yes.
But if you were, if Mr. Malepane was storing cigarettes or alcohol at your home, is there any way you wouldn't have noticed it?
No.
You say that Mr. Malepane wasn't formally employed, but he survived.
Yes.
Did Mr. Malepane ever discuss how he made money with you?
Yes, so when I met him, he was driving a Polo, so he had sold it and said that he's gonna buy cars that were in an accident, fix them and then sell them.
Yes.
Yes.
Did Mr. Malepane ever strike you as secretive about his business dealings or how he made money?
I can't say secretive.
You wouldn't say secretive?
Yes.
You would.
I wouldn't say secretive.
It was also a very emotional day in court. Tell us why.
So once the witness concluded her testimony, the judge was, made it clear to her that, the court thanks her for her testimony and that she was going to be released and that she wouldn't have to come back to court anymore or really talk about this case anymore. And immediately after being released, the witness broke down, just so emotional. She left the witness box in tears, which really shocked all of us in the gallery as well as in court. But I think the emotional stress of going through something like this and having to come to court and explain what you know about the death of an 8-month pregnant woman can really take an emotional toll on you. So the court had to adjourn just to allow her to be able to leave the court, but she left quite emotional.
Yeah, what happens next, Lee?
Well, the trial has wrapped up, Shahan, finally after 3 weeks. We've heard from the state, we've heard from the defense. They concluded their witness list today with witness X, and next week we expect closing arguments in this matter. That will take place on the 22nd of February, that's on Tuesday. And also, the court has also ruled that the live stream ban on the trial can be lifted, meaning that we will be able to take the proceedings live in terms of the closing arguments as well and judgment.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. Slindelo Masikane.